Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make this animal print heart using some watercolors. So I am going to show you how to make a cheetah pattern, a tiger pattern, and also a zebra pattern in watercolor. And I'll also kind of talk you through how you could make a snake skin watercolor pattern as well. So let's get started. So I have a watercolor block here by Arches. It's cold pressed paper. It's 7.9 inches by 7.9 inches square. And I just drew a heart in very, very light pencil. I think it's a 4H. It's my favorite pencil for sketching. It's super light. It doesn't leave marks on the page and it erases really easily. I have my 1/4 inch painter's tape and I'm just sectioning off different parts of the heart so that we have these little compartments for our different animal prints. What I've been finding with watercolor is I'm kind of new and I'm doing a lot of experimenting, and I like to be able to experiment with multiple things at the same time. So that's why you're seeing all of this swatch art. So to start, I'm just going to add some water to our center little panel here, and that is some sap green. And then I'm going to add some water to this panel as well, being sure to not go outside that hand-drawn heart line on the side. And this is Aussie Red Gold. I really, actually, no, this is, yellow ochre or burnt sienna. We're going to use Aussie Red Gold in another spot. And I am just going to lay down a base coat in all my little sections by first adding some water and then a diluted version of the color that I'm going to use for the little panel. And I'm trying to stagger it out so that I don't have the same animal print next to each other. So there's one on each side of the heart. And here my water got a little bit contaminated. I guess I didn't clean my brush off okay, but it actually helps me to see the outline a little bit better when I drop that color in. And this is raw. No, this one is, sorry, I'm still learning my colors. It's, I think this one is burnt sienna, or I'm sorry, just whatever yellow gold colors you like, you can add in here. But I am for sure, I remember where I put in my Aussie Red Gold, and I'm going to point that out to you because it's a color that you might not be familiar with. It's just something I happened to find when I was deciding which Daniel Smith watercolors to use. So I'm also going to add some of this darker yellow orange, almost brown color down at the tip of the heart. And we are going to add our cheetah print to the gold and then to the darker gold areas. And now we're going to work on our zebra print. So for zebra print, I'm using a pointed round brush. Just get the thinnest tip that you can. If you want to use a really small brush, that's fine. I'm using these black velvet squirrel hair brushes. They have a really fine point and they work excellent for this technique. And for the zebra print, I just kind of Googled zebra print and I tried to copy a pattern that I just saw online. The thing about zebra print, there are different ways to do it. You could just have a whole bunch of lines that are all going the same way, and then you can add a little swirl here and there. You can make these little wishbone shapes. You can add like a little diamond in some areas where you have a lot of white space, but there's a bunch of ways to do it. And for this one, I am just making sure to focus all of my stripes going the same way. So they're all going to start from the right side and then just kind of flow towards the center of the heart. And I am using neutral tint here, which makes a nice black. And if you get lost at any point, honestly, the best way to do this is to go really fast and not think about it. Just have your wavy lines running parallel to each other and all going in the same direction. And if you just start them at different spots, you should be okay. So in other words, I would stagger it. If I had one line start on the very edge, then the next line, maybe I would have it like a quarter of the way from the edge, and then the next one may be a little bit closer to the edge, but not as close as the first one. So you get the idea here. But the idea is just to kind of play, just play as you're making your little black streaks. You could also, since you're going to be going over this with a black watercolor or a really deep gray watercolor, you could pencil this in first if you like, so you can even trace an outline of a pattern that you find on the internet and then just color over your pencil marks with the black ink. That is another way to do it. And I am just going to fill in this entire section here, and then we will move on to our next little panel. So I am going to add our tiger stripe to this section of the heart. So I am just going to lay down some water to start. And I'm just going to make sure that I only fill in this little area here. If you work really quickly, you could, I guess, add water to all the sections of the heart and then just kind of paint as you go. But I wasn't sure how quickly I was going to go. So I just kind of filled in the little sections as I went along. And now here I'm going to add a little deep green section here. This was going to be my snake skin. And I will explain why I added some light green in that upper right hand corner. I meant to go in with my gold, but I made a mistake and I used the green for the snake skin, but it's okay. We're going to go over it with an orange that is going to kind of cover it up and we won't even know. So now we can start working on our cheetah print. So for cheetah print, this is some a reddish brown that I have here. This may be perylene maroon. And I'm just taking a thin tip brush and I'm just adding these little ragged ovals and little ragged circles. Cheetah print is so much fun to make. It's super easy. It's kind of like a Zen activity to get into. Oh, let me just explain what I'm doing here. So this is our tiger stripe and this is that Aussie red gold. Look at how gorgeous that what a gorgeous color that is. Like, it looks like it would be great for oranges, nice for suns and sunsets. And then here in the middle, I decided to mix some of the Aussie red gold with some of the serpentine green, which we're using, funny enough, for the snake. And then we just have kind of like a little desert sunset there. For cheetah print, to make it look like cheetah print, let your brown circles dry, and then you are just going to add some black detailing around the edges. It's important not to go all the way around the edge, then it will look unnatural. So you just kind of put a ragged line on the bottom and on the top, and then maybe a little dot here and there on the edges, but you want to make sure that you leave some of that brown space alone without any black around it. So just go top, a little bit of top, a little bit on bottom, and you're good to go. You could also go a little bit on the side, a little bit on the other side. That would work. But whatever you do, just remember to only outline two of the sides, and you want to keep that same raggedy pattern going as you make your cheetah print. So I am just going to finish up this little pattern, and then we will move to our little cheetah print in the center of the heart. And I'm just loving the way this heart is looking. I just hand drew this heart, so I don't have a template for it, but if you have any dies, you could use that. You need a really big die. This is a 7.9 by 7.9 sheet of paper. And now to further spice up our cheetah print, I'm just adding little black raggedy dots here and there wherever it looks like the little panel needs to be filled in a little bit. And that's really going to make it pop and make it look like it's cheetah skin. So I'll explain to you what I'm doing here. So this is a watercolor fail, but I will show you how to get the right result. So if you want to do snake skin, if you look, there are a whole bunch of little diamond patterns. So I am making little diamonds here by drawing the parallel line and then a horizontal line going through it and doing it on a diagonal, so it looks like there's a whole bunch of little diamonds. And then the trick is you will fill in some of the little diamonds in a diamond pattern, and you have to be really patient, and I wasn't here, and so I'm just gonna color over the whole thing. There it is. So if you look on the right, I was more patient, and that's what the serpent print would look like if you take the time to do it properly, which is you do your little grid and then you fill in a pattern using those little diamond grid, and you can just follow along with a pattern that you find on the internet of a snake skin. And that's kind of how to make snake skin. And then you would just glaze over the top so that everything matches together. And here I'm kind of trying to fake it by just blotting it up with my paper towel a little bit and just trying to do the best I can here. Now for the tiger stripes are going to be very, very similar to the zebra stripes. So tiger stripes are thicker than zebra stripes, and they also have that little wishbone pattern. So I'm just kind of quickly going in and adding some wavy lines. They all go in the same direction as well. So we're going from right to left with these tiger stripes. And then I'm just going to fill in some and make some of them a little thicker. And then for this last little section, we're just going to go make a little bit more cheetah print. I kind of forgot about this little guy as we were filling in our other cheetah prints. And if you look, it's kind of like we've got like 2 of each pattern except for the tiger print, which we only have 1. And then we have our little desert sunset square in the center. That would be a good place if you want to leave a sentiment, to put a sentiment there. You could do it maybe in white embossing powder. And here is our heart. So I've peeled up the painter's tape, and this is what it looks like in the end. So this would be great to frame and hang on your wall, or you can add a sentiment, like I said, and send it to a friend. And that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that you give these animal prints a try. It's so much fun, and anyone that you send these prints to will definitely love them. Have a great day, and I will see you again soon in the next video.